deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist. How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of Kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use Kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any, you can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time. And you talk
Hey, Street Fighters, welcome to the show. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it's the place to be. It's Wednesday night, time for a street fight. We're doing it here in the basement. All the vibes are turned up to 11. We're kicking back, relaxing like we normally do. Enjoying the holiday season, staying holidayed as fuck, and keeping things rolling. Thank you for tuning into the show. Thank you for watching. If you're on live stream, we're doing this on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can find us by looking for Street Fight Radio, Street Fight WCRS, and every single channel except for Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio for Twitch, but it's Street Fight WCRS for everything else because we started on community radio here out of Columbus, Ohio, WCRS, where you can still hear our show by tuning in to the station. We just did some Shark Tanks material for the Patreon, so if you're listening to the show 2 times a week and you really want more of what we do, then patreon.com is the place to support the show and keep this thing going. I've been filling out holiday cards all goddamn day for 4 hours now, combined, last night and today. But, you know, it's a good problem to have. We have a huge community of people that's getting bigger and better than ever, and we're gonna get through this thing together. All of us street fighting till the very end, because that's all you can do, is be a spiteful bastard in the face of capitalism and the American government. How you doing, Brian?
Bah. You know.
Bah?
Bah.
Like a sheep?
Not great. But, you know, well enough while I'm doing the show. You know, we've bent the world many times with this podcast.
Sure.
Right? I mean, you know, there was a local newspaper in town when we started. They never wrote about us. They went out of business.
Right, because we warned them that they would if they didn't report on us. And they didn't, and then guess what happened?
Yeah. And 2 weeks ago, I launched a series called Buttfest 2000 about butt rock music. We're trying to learn what it is. I think the name's a bit reductive, to tell you the truth, of butt rock. But
I don't like the name either.
Yeah, I know. But the concept of the show is trying to figure out what that is. You know, like I've been seeing that word in print since the 90s, right? Like in Spin magazine, the hit magazine.
Yes.
As I mentioned, if you listen to the show, you'll hear it. Like in the hit magazines, they would say this is a butt rock band. And it was one of those things where when I was young, I read music magazines. All of them.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, Spin, Alternative Press, Circus, whatever I could get my hands on, right? And the word genre, it was in there. And I thought it was Janier until I was in my 20s, you know?
Yeah.
And butt rock, and I never even thought about checking to see what Janier was. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, I kind of figured it out through context clues.
Sure.
And butt rock's the same thing. I'd seen the word butt rock. It never fucking resonated with me because it's not something I would say. You know what I mean? It's not like a good name or anything. No. It's kind of something like, it sounds like something a dork would say to me.
It's a dorky thing. Do you know the genesis from what I know is that the radio stations would say nothing but rock.
Yeah.
And it's butt rock because the filler, there are some good rock bands on there, but the filler is all butt and it stinks. I think that's what the name is that it has to stink.
Yeah, it's not good. It's generic. But the reason I bring this up is because today, 4 hours ago, Spin reported this. Creed Scott Stapp to portray Frank Sinatra in new movie about Ronald Reagan.
Wow, cool.
So,
awesome.
I bent the world toward getting Creed Scott Stapp a new job.
Well, he owes you one.
Yeah. And now he's playing Frank Sinatra, which this is inspired to me. Inspired joy.
Yeah.
I'm trying
to be friends with somebody making that movie.
I've been trying to hear it in my mind all day. Like I've been doing like I did it my way. Because he's going to do the Scott Stapp voice. I assume that's the only voice he knows, you know?
Right.
So, interesting, though, that it happened. That all of a sudden Scott Stapp's in the news out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, a bunch of people were like, I thought Scott Stapp was dead. He's not. He's playing Frank Sinatra in the movie.
Yeah, I think he's calmed down a little bit.
With arms wide open. So, yeah, I bent the world again. It's wonderful. Also, another big story that came out during our little break there, because we had a break. You guys had a show. The listeners had a show to listen to, but me and Brett had 8 days off. And
but several days of birthdays.
2 days of birthdays.
Well, yeah.
I only did 2.
But there was extra days. I did overtime on birthdays. Extra birthday days.
I'm against it.
There was a lot of catching up.
Yeah. But while we were gone, people were looking into who funds the Federalist. I mean, people have been looking into who funds the Federalist for a number of years that I've seen. You know, the Federalist is a newspaper that I would have never heard of had I not known Will Menaker, Felix Biederman, and Matt Christman when they first started doing their podcast.
Yeah.
They were the ones, they really zeroed in on the Federalist for those first.
They're very expective COINTELPRO that they get right-wing media to people like us.
Yeah.
That's what they're good for.
Yeah,
No, the Federalist I also did not know until online battling. It's a conservative, very weirdly conservative outfit.
Uncomfortably weird, like Catholic.
But also, I mean, well, we do too. Yeah, Catholic. It's trad.
Like, very much like they, I was reading up on them and stuff, and up until recently, they had a tag on their site for black crime. Like, they are just as vile as it gets, but also very much like anti-pornography and stuff too. Like, just.
And it is, I mean, I think also what happened is once we got into podcasting and made it like our goal and our career, you do notice that there are lots of right-wing media companies that have endless budgets. Like, this is like we're stitching together our Patreon to turn it into a business and employ 5 or 6 people, and they have just like $1 million checks coming in.
They have all the money in the world.
They have people to sit around all day and just write the worst kind of opinion pieces and tweet stuff to piss off liberals and to be just the worst kind of libertarian that you can be.
Right. And somebody asks, so what happens is on Twitter, if you ask somebody that works for the Federalist who funds the Federalist, they block you.
Okay.
They don't want to fucking talk about it. But guess who we found out from, and we'll give him credit, Alex Koch found out who funds the Federalist, and it's none other than the Ulines.
The
Uline family is funding the Federalist.
The worst shipping supply manufacturers, office supplies, the worst people in the world. Once again, pushing the worst idea, spending their money just to really hypnotize people, to lie to them, right?
Yeah.
There's no passion, there's no energy behind this. It's all just propped up by billionaires that want to keep us poor.
Yeah, the Ulines and the Koch brothers.
Right. They are in charge of these outlets.
Yeah.
These are not like the natural populist right wing thing is racist. It's white supremacy. This Republican high minded shit, most of it is just funded by billionaires as lies.
And they give money. The Ulines give money to a bunch of right wing media outlets. The Daily Caller gets Uline money, only $25,000 though. I don't know.
That's not enough to do much.
Yeah, well, I mean $25,000 and then whatever other money they got coming in. I mean, if somebody wants to throw us $25,000, I'll take it. That's a big difference maker in the street fight world.
But I'm just thinking the Daily Caller has a building, and like that, will that pay the rent and all the bills?
I don't think anything has a building anymore.
True.
Everybody's at home now, so that was interesting. That's another one of our enemies surfacing in the news.
Yeah, it turns out the awful, horrible Uline people that are trying to start a Galt's Gulch. They have that private island. They have all of the propaganda pages that they want inside of their catalog, and then they also, in their spare time, fund a this propaganda outfit.
Right. Yeah. So again, we've always said this. If you get the Uline catalog, we like to read Liz Uline's letters.
Yes.
I haven't gotten one in a while. People haven't sent us one. Now the P.O. box is going to be full of them.
Yeah, we get them a lot.
Oh, do we get them?
Yeah, I get them probably once a month. I think we have them all. I need to start pulling them so we we need to regularly read the update.
Yeah, I don't really get to ever read those anymore. I get them sent, like every now and then somebody will take a picture and send it to me. It's very hard to read.
Right.
On my telephone.
They're tiny.
I was going to read part of the article about the Uline, but I just want to congratulate the person who figured out the news, because that is quite a coup, and it is good to see, obviously more people get turned on to how bad the Ulines are, which we, in truth, luckily, we got lucky. Somebody sent me one of the particularly unhinged Liz Uline pieces in the catalog, and that's just where we found it. And then people started sending us information. Well, yeah, we started getting calls about the Uline.
I knew what it was immediately. I mean, when I worked, I saw that goddamn catalog when I worked at that magnet store in Dallas. We used all Uline stuff. I recognized the name.
Everybody uses Uline.
Yeah, it. It's like when people start talking about the Bob Barker stuff in private prisons. Like you just want to hear more. You're like, okay, what's going on there?
So much stuff comes to my house with Uline, like packaging.
Yep, the box, like corrugated cardboard.
Yeah, they got very nice. I guess Uline has very nice corrugated cardboard.
Corrugated cardboard.
I mean, since we've been here, the vaccine started rolling out, and people started checking out that vaccine.
There's pictures of people getting shots all over the social media.
Obama's got to do his TV special he was talking about.
He's doing it like a beer summit?
He said he would do it on TV. He's like, I'll get the vaccine on TV. I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
I'll do that too. I am watching Twitter and people are flipped out. I don't know, man. I don't want to fuck with that vaccine. I'm seeing a lot of people on our side that are like, I'm a little freaked out about the vaccine, And I just want to say, I sometimes will walk off stage and have somebody hand me pills and I'll throw them directly into my mouth. I don't know what's in.
You got paid. You got paid. Did you get paid off?
To take pills? Oh,
no, to sell a vaccine, yeah.
No, I'm just saying I don't know what's in anything that I take. I take pills every day. I don't fucking know shit about what's in them. I don't know. I just fucking pop them in my mouth and take them. I assume that if they tell me, and this is where I'm a sheeple, if they tell me that the vaccine's fine and might paralyze my face for a day or two or whatever, okay, I'll take it. Fucking give it to me. I gotta get on an airplane.
Let me push back against every single meme that says if you eat a pill off the floor, you'll be fine with the vaccine, and say that these pills have been in our community for decades. Cocaine has been in our communities for decades. We know what happens with that stuff.
This vaccine.
This is brand new. This is like, would you be the first one to try? Are you going to be the first one to try a drug? But the tried and true ones, I think it's fine to take Molly at a rave from someone you don't know. Doesn't mean I'm anti-vaccine, but I don't think that I don't think it's a fair comparison. I want to stand up for drugs that have gotten us through this, that existed before COVID did, and saved our lives. That this vaccine isn't like the best drug that's ever happened.
It's been around since January. They've been working with it. They've had that motherfucker since January. So, I figure they did all the testing needs to be done.
I
would have taken it in January.
I'm not worrying my mind with it at all because no one has told me I can get it. Right. So I'm not concerned. I'm just continuing to enjoy my life and do things because no one has suggested that I would ever going to get that. I honestly I've not gotten within a stone's throw of a COVID test yet. I've been trying to get one of those. And
you can get one of those.
For how much?
$24 is what the bill is that I got.
I have to go in and do a song and dance and pretend like I'm freaked out to get one?
Well, I wasn't pretending. I was actually
Well, I would be pretending, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I have
you
to
gotta
go-
go in there and say, like, I think I got COVID.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because
You want to test, you got to do the fucking thing. That's how the medical system in America works.
I don't want to do that.
If you want something, you got to do a dance. That's the way it works. I haven't figured out the dance to unlock benzos. Like, that's just me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the dance. I'm trying to figure it out. Boodly-doody-doo. Like that, maybe that dance next time. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the first wave of right wing memes. I saw the Bell's palsy meme is hitting hardcore.
That's 1 or 2
I saw
days.
the rotted ankle. Do you see the
I'll take that.
rotted ankle lady?
No.
A woman was a placebo. A woman was in coronavirus trials, and she got some weird ass infection on her heel. Her whole heel turned into like a toenail, and there was like a fucking cuticle around it, and it looked like so bizarre. But it was totally unrelated to that. She had a placebo. She got like sugar water. She didn't even get the coronavirus.
She just
but all
her
these
toenail on her heel out of nowhere.
just happened to get a toenail on her heel, and she turned into this They were spreading like wildfire pictures of her toenail ass heel.
I've been saying from the beginning, like, I would have liked to have got in on the testing.
I had the paperwork right here. They would have paid you $600 to go over there to OSU and do it.
They were saying you have to not be careful, though. They don't want motherfuckers that
It's
are
song and dance.
And it's true. I should have just gone in there. I'm like, I'm eating at restaurants every day. I fucking love them.
Well, yeah, no, I'm pretty careful. Although I went to Panera today and ate. I forgot my damn mask, of course. I went to the mall and ate at the food court yesterday for breakfast.
I hold my breath.
Yeah,
I
just hold my breath.
By someone.
I just go. I'm real good too. Put your finger under my nose. Put it under.
Well, goddamn, I'm being careful. I just needed an Auntie Anne's pretzel.
Yeah.
So I went to the mall. I'm missing things.
No, I had my hoodie.
Self-care.
I had my hoodie pulled up.
Yeah.
I had my hoodie pulled up.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that like the candidates for the COVID vaccine were like they want you to go out and fucking try to get it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
They want people
Scare up some COVID, round up some COVID.
Yeah, they want motherfuckers that were just gonna be like, okay, yeah, fuck it.
Right.
You know,
people that were just looking for money. They're like, we're gonna do whatever they did, but found out how to make a couple $100 getting the vaccine.
I would have done it. I'm willing to let them test shit on me. I don't give a fuck.
There's good money in that.
Well, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna fucking get a toenail on my heel?
You might get a toenail on your heel.
Okay. Well, that sounds like it'll help my heel. You know?
Yeah, firm it up.
Protect it.
Just get one of those Dr. Scholl's, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, get a Dr. Scholl's.
You know what? I actually, this is so weird, and I don't know why it's happening. It might be a Christmas thing, but I had COVID nightmares like 2 times this week.
I've had them too. You described this. Describe this to us because you described this to me the other day, and I will explain to you what happens with me.
And this is not something I normally have. I'm a constant weed user, so I don't normally have dreams. Like in the last 5 years, I've probably had 4 dreams. I remember like moving to Dallas and getting nightmares and shit. I do not normally dream, but earlier this week, I was all of a sudden at the mall, and I was walking around, and the songs were playing, and everybody was smiling, and I was going to the stores. And I tell you what, the stores had everything I wanted. Like, I was just walking around like, fuck, this is perfect. Yes. Crossed it off my list. And then there was this moment, I found something for myself. It was something I've been looking for a long time, these jeans. And I pull them up, and I'm like, yes, they have my jeans. And I look around, and everybody's wearing masks. And I don't have my mask on. And I'm just like start gasping for air, and I'm like super embarrassed, and I drop the thing, and I like walk out, and I put my zip up over my face. I can feel the zipper bouncing on my nose, and I'm just, people with masks are staring at me, and I feel like the stupidest person in the world. And that's the only time I've had it happen this whole year.
I had one where I was at the movies. I just went to the movies and fucking sold out, packed movie theater, and then I'm in there and fucking I look around and nobody's wearing a mask, but then one person comes by wearing a mask, and I'm like,
we're supposed to be wearing masks, and I'm not wearing a mask, fuck. And then I had one where me and you were at the airport. We're getting ready to fucking take off and go do our thing, and fucking neither one of us are wearing a mask, but other people are. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? And, you know, it freaked me out. It's really weird to wake up from a COVID dream. It's really just dreaming of going and doing something.
Yeah, it is now. It's like it really stifles your dreams. Like even in your dreams, you just want to go like shop and have an open mouth where people can see your teeth when you smile at them. And then all of a sudden you get super self-conscious like, oh no, I fucked up. I couldn't make it to vaccine day. I had to go to Target and fucking talk to the cashier. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a weird thing. Yeah, because like going to the mall isn't something you dream about. Going to the movies isn't
I love the
something you dream
mall.
about.
I have to say I hate Christmas. I hate FedEx Christmas. I hate UPS Christmas. Wow. I hate motherfucking Back the Blue USPS Christmas.
I hate sneaking. But number one, I hate
hiding it,
trying to figure out the boxes.
Yep.
Because your wife, I assume Erica's having things ordered for you, and you're having things ordered for her.
And she's doing,
and you're trying to intercept your stuff and not catch theirs, because I don't want to see my gifts.
No, I don't either.
I have no idea. I got gifts under the tree. I walk by it every day, and I look, and I'm like, boy, that could be anything. You know, that's exciting. You know,
doesn't matter. I mean, I just, you know, I know there's something to open. That's enough for me to be happy. But you're right. Like, my wife is just, she's like, but wait, we have all this like stuff that's linked up, and I'm like, right. Well, this is the time of the year you have to do like, give the money to your mom, give the money to your friend. This is
that what you're doing?
That I have a card that I can put it on.
Katie,
she has one too.
Account.
Yeah. Erica doesn't. Erica is not involved with the account too much.
She shouldn't be looking.
But she does have. She can do it.
She shouldn't though. If she's looking now, but she doesn't look through the rest of the year.
No, she's not looking. No.
Peeking.
She's not peeking.
Okay.
No, she has
but
no.
You're peeking.
I'm
on accident.
I'm peeking not on accident. I'm trying to do the money.
Yes.
I have to make sure
Same
every
here.
single day our life doesn't fall apart.
Same here.
I actually got a fucking overdraft fee in November. So I'm very much following the money. She is hard for her because I know everything that comes through. And I also am in charge of all of the rewards programs. I'm on the emails for everything. So if she goes and gets something, I'm going to be notified.
Right.
But also in the same way, she all the mail that comes here, like she opens because it's usually for both of us. Like, so I have to get stuff behind her back.
Yeah, I think Katie now... What happened is we have a credit card for the first time ever, and I think I don't have access to look at the balance of that credit card. I say pay this much, and she pays. And I think that is how she's been able to get around me.
That's good.
This year, because every other year it's like, hey, what'd you spend $300 or not $300? What'd you spend $100 at this place for?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, something. But I don't think I did get one thing for her that I had to be concerned with, and I handled it, and it's fine. But like, I have something coming in the USPS. I love you so much. Don't get me wrong, but things are pretty dire with the tracking these days, and I have this thing coming in the mail. It was supposed to be here yesterday, and I was going to intercept it. I know what it's going to look like, and it might have identifying logos on the box that it comes in. It's very possible. And if it has that happened with her birthday present. I got her some shit from Sephora, and it comes in a box that says Sephora on it. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Why would you do that? But like, so... like you order these things, and then it was supposed to be there, so I was like watching like a hawk. I was like, paying attention to what came to the door, and it didn't come. And I was like, okay, I'll check the tracking again. And now the tracking just says, it's late, but it'll get there. That's like all it says.
Really?
It doesn't have a date on it.
Yeah.
But
We know where it's at.
we shouldn't expect. I guess, like, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to be as diplomatic. I am saying I'm frustrated. But
Well,
it's
yeah.
like, it's also kind of a miracle that the mail gets out. Anyway.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, these are unprecedented times for
Yes.
sure. It's certainly like, I like I've been doing the curbside pickup stuff.
Yeah, I should have picked stuff up, but some of this stuff is stuff that, now that the internet exists, there is just stuff that you can only get on the internet. Glenn's been shopping on Etsy a lot this year.
Okay.
And it's like, you can't get that stuff anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, you just get it. Gwen caught me buying one of her gifts. But I gotta say, I was unbelievably reckless when I purchased it. I purchased it with our shared Amazon account.
Yeah.
Also, had it up on the computer and left the computer open in my office with the door open. So
Yeah,
you
you
can
gotta
just
think
walk
that
by
through.
and see a Smith shirt.
Yeah, you gotta think that through.
Yeah. So she knows yes, I know all about Morrissey, but you can't stop a teen from liking the Smiths. That's just the way the world works.
Yeah, it's entry level.
Yeah.
And she's dipping her toes in.
Yeah, she's trying to be hip, man.
There's
Let her
sadder
be hip.
people. She'll find her own
Yeah.
special sad
She likes
person.
Weezer too. Big into Weezer.
What one though?
Pinkerton.
Good.
And the
Okay,
Blue
she's
Album.
good then. She's So there's nothing to be ashamed about liking Pinkerton ever at all.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
good.
the lyrics,
I actually,
the lyrics suck, and the band, betrayed us because we thought they would never come back, and when they did, they ruined their whole legacy.
I actually told her, I was like, some of those lyrics on Pinkerton, a little creepy, isn't it? And she
Right.
was like, Dad, rock and roll music is creepy. And I was like, you got a good point there. That's, you're actually right about that. Most songs are about creepy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that was the tradition for a long time.
Yeah.
And it is kind of that dangerous attitude of who the fuck knows what could happen. If you hang around here, it is really fucking wild.
Yeah, for sure. Let's put our headphones in. Let's play some audio.
Rivers had that dorky type of creep going on, though.
Oh, bad, though. The worst kind. Because it's like a guy you
But
would
if you're a
never
teen,
think
though,
was a creep.
but that's the thing is that, when you're a kid, though, they're talking about people your age.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Othello reads differently to different people. When you're a teen, it's like a teenage love story. But when you're an adult, you're like, this guy's too old to be singing this.
True. True. Yeah. Let's do this first. I have a little bit of
E.T.
entertainment news. This is entertainment tonight. We were just talking about COVID a few minutes ago, and there has been a pretty sticky situation for Street Fight on here because not just for Street Fight, but have you heard this Tom Cruise audio? Have you seen it? Have you heard it?
I've only heard tell of it.
I heard it, and I'm gonna play it tonight.
I haven't heard it.
He's a boss on this.
I haven't heard it. A boss in what way? The boss of all bosses?
I mean,
with dollar signs, or
here's the thing
or
about
the beat 'em up type boss.
Here's the thing about Tom Cruise. I know that he has the Scientology thing, and that is bad. Whatever's going on with Scientology, I don't like it. Okay? The Sea Org and the free stuff and whatever Tom Cruise is doing. Love those goddamn Mission Impossible movies, though, like crazy. Can't get enough of them. They're one of the rare movies I've watched more than once.
He's trying to go to outer space to shoot a movie, too.
Yeah, well, that's Tom Cruise for you, baby. But he okay, so
I don't know what I've seen, and then I've seen that people thought it was good, and then I've seen the backlash.
I'm gonna go out on a limb first of all, because I've heard this, and I'm gonna say I'm okay with it. Here's the fucking thing, right? Apparently the whole film set got shut down because of a COVID case, which is going to happen.
Yeah,
but a film set's supposed to be a bubble these days, I believe.
Sure.
They're supposed to be doing bubbles, okay? And they're doing a lot of testing, and also there's protocols that you have to follow, okay? And you got to imagine, if you're trying to keep this whole fucking thing running, that you just want everybody to do the COVID protocol.
And here's the thing, if you're a piece of shit like Tom Cruise that has more money than God, why hasn't Xenu taught you enough to be patient to wait to shoot something? Why are you at all? You are cooling. You have the best excuse
You
ever.
have money.
You've got an infinity pool. You can swim laps for miles. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You have helicopters, planes, dirt bikes, all of it. You shouldn't be working, motherfucker. You're greedy. You're too greedy.
He needs to fucking the only thing that makes him feel alive is running on a Mission Impossible set. It's just the way it is.
Jesus Christ. It's wearing off.
Here's the audio. No, it's not. Trust me. Mission Impossible 7 comes out. Who's going to be hopefully watching it on HBO Max and not in the theater?
I'm not impressed. He's losing me in my old age like Tarantino. I'm tired of this shit.
Well, yeah, you're tired of action movies, though.
I like action movies.
I like action movies.
I like action movies.
Big budget. Huge action movies. All right, here we go. Here's Tom Cruise screaming at his employees.
You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us! Because they believe in us and what we're doing!
What a piece of shit.
I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers.
Give me Brad Pitt. Give me Brad Pitt on this. Brad Pitt is chill. This person, he is enough of an asshole. He knows who he is in the world. He has no right to ever speak to anybody like this ever in his life.
You know,
he should be.
That is a good point. That is because I again was coming out pro there at the beginning because it does fucking drive me crazy that people don't follow the goddamn.
I'm with you.
It drives me up the fucking wall. But as you've said, I haven't done this to anybody. I've somehow been able to not do this.
Yeah.
To anybody at all in public. You know, I give dirty looks, but I'm wearing a mask. So they can't see that.
Sure.
You know, I'm turning around. I'm turning the corner now.
Us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs. I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone.
I mean,
anyone on this.
I do have to say that he has an understanding of the moment in time that he's in right there.
It is weird.
Everybody is forced to do this right now. The only thing that makes it feel sane and okay is if we do these stupid fucking rituals together, even though we should not be doing this at all.
No, we shouldn't be making a movie right now.
Yeah, but he's right. There are people that are dying to do this job because otherwise they're going to be robbing and stealing from people.
Yeah.
I went to go, the Toys for Tot program is denying people now in Columbus. They've got like 40% less donations and people that didn't sign up. The Mid-Ohio Food Bank is like 3 times the amount. You know, people are fucking starving right now.
Yeah.
And so he is one. I do have to say this is how mad we all are. I think that is what I identify with. Is this how I feel about all of this? But my anger is towards the people in charge of everything.
Yes.
You know, the ones that have put us in this position where it's like, you know, I'm Tom Cruise. If I don't do this movie, some PA or grip or editor is going to be furloughed or on some PPP wages or something. I can go and act and do this stupid thing and people will get money. But because there's like, there I don't know.
Here's more.
This crew does it. That's it. And you too. And you too. And you. Don't you ever
an asshole.
do it
He
again.
is a piece of shit.
That's it.
He also
no apologies.
Here he goes.
Tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table.
Shut up.
Or pay for their college education.
I mean, you could give up some money.
I know. You have enough to get this taken care of.
That's what I sleep with every night.
Oh no!
That's where he goes
Tommy!
The future of the industry.
That's what I sleep with every night.
So I'm sorry, I'm beyond
Can
your
you
fault.
believe my pain?
I told you. and
You know
now
how
I'm
hard it
back.
is
And
to
if you
be
don't-
calm fucking trues?
He's so bad. I mean, it's funny to hear a guy mad. Really.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, it's like, yeah, flying off the handle.
Mad guys are funny every time. I mean,
Well, when you're there, though,
I don't want to be the guy getting yelled at.
Yeah.
I would have been, well,
You know-
chuckling. You know, that
I was gonna
thing you
say,
do?
I identify with. I would try to record this. Like, I identify with the person recording this. Like, they are not gonna believe this shit when they hear it. Like, you're not fazed by it, but you're like, I'm gonna get this down on paper.
Hearing angry people just sends me. It just fucking, it fills up everything inside my heart, because what Tom Cruise is doing right now, I want to do that sometimes. I just want to fucking fly off the fucking handle at somebody. I'm so afraid of every person in the whole entire world that I would never do this.
There's no reason to do it. There's no reason to fly off the handle for most things. Like,
But I get hot under the collar, dude. I get mad and then I fucking internalize it and make it about myself, and then fucking get mad at myself, and then, I turn into a huge ball of hate and anxiety.
Dude, I was raised on anger. My masculinity is all enveloped in anger, and I get mad real easy. But like, the only thing I can do is just like, I have to just laugh it off and just be like, it's so stupid to be mad about pretty much anything.
Yeah, well,
I mean, there's
the two opposite problems
beyond,
too.
your food and your security and your safety, and having someone you care, being around people that care about you. I mean, a lot of stuff, it's like, I just can't get too mad anymore about shit.
We have,
especially if I was in his position.
Yeah.
I would hope. I mean, I really pity him, because I still get mad and I feel bad about it, and I want to change it. And I don't want it to like disregard people or treat people like that, and to think that you have it all and you never want again in your life, and anything you could ever want to do happens for you, and you still, the motherfucking aliens can't cure that rage inside you.
I fucking wonder if he released this audio.
I don't know. Somebody else posited that. I don't care how that stuff works, really.
I just feel like it's interesting. The stuff he's saying, like, he comes off like a good guy.
It's good sneak. If for someone that he probably doesn't want to do a TikTok, but he wants people talking about him and saying like, people are losing their homes. I sleep with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's just a little bit more.
Don't do it, you're out! We are not shutting this movie down!
He's so mad. He's so
Is it
mad.
understood? If I see it again, you're gone. And so are you.
I mean,
So
you know
you're
what,
gonna
man?
finish this job.
Oh.
When I see it on the set, you're gone. And you're gone.
What a bastard.
That's it.
He's sick
Am I
of this
clear?
shit. He's sick
You
of this.
understand what I want. You understand
Yeah, fuck this guy,
the
man.
responsibility that you have. Because I will deal with your reason. And if you can't be reasonable, and I can't deal with your logic, you're fired.
That's a dick thing to say.
Wow, I love that.
That's a dick thing to say.
Wow. Holy moly.
I trust you guys.
That was
to
not
do
scripted. That was not scripted.
No. I don't think any of this is scripted. I think that somebody recorded it, or there was some sort of recording thing going, and he knew that it got recorded, and he was like, that makes me look good. Which, I think a lot of people are kind of on his side. I have been yelled at like that. I got yelled at like that at Lexi's, at the fucking deli I worked at. That was what it was like, dude, working there. So I do, on one side, the guys that were grab-assing or not wearing a mask or whatever the fuck they were doing, I don't know what was going on. On one side, I am like in their shoes in a way. But on the other side, like, I am a person that just wants people to wear the fucking mask. You know, I just want people to do the COVID protocols. Please do them.
Let me tell you how my logic and reasoning works with this. We're running past old Tom Cruise here. You know, if you agree to go do a movie with somebody inside of a set, you're lying to your motherfucking self, and you shouldn't be able to scold everybody for not lying to themselves properly, because if we're working on this thing together, we're eating up each other's motherfucking germs. Like, you know, Jason comes over to do this show. I know the trouble we're getting in. If I go out here to do a movie, like, I know that I'm inviting. I do not think that, like, the mask keeps me safe if we're going to be working together extensively. I know that doesn't work. Everybody knows that doesn't work. You know, like, you're going to get infected by those people.
It could have been a number of different things that caused him, but my guess is the guy had a mask.
I feel like he saw an opportunity to shame somebody, man. It just feels like he saw I
mean, he's an asshole. I think that was I don't think people should be dealt with that way by a guy like Tom Cruise. You understand what I'm saying? But I think that if this was a rando guy at a fucking Kroger screaming at somebody, I would be like, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I think collectively what we're trying to say is that every 30 minutes at the grocery store, someone should say, "Jesus fucking Christ! The mask goes over your nose. Yeah. It goes over your nose. It goes over your nose." And we should just pay people to have public freakouts every 30 minutes and scream like the mask protocols and pull their hair out of their head.
You know, when you go into a gas station and you see the employee standing behind the counter with their mask off, it really pisses you off.
And then they see you and then tuck it on or whatever.
Dude, I've had them not even touch it. I'll never forget this. This was earlier on in COVID. The woman that called me the Five Guy at the gas station. So walk in there to buy Mellows, and she has the mask on, and I don't know. I think I need to get like a pack of cigarettes or something. So I had to talk to her, and she was like, excuse me? Oh, these dumb masks. I come in the next fucking day, and she's wearing it around her ear and just hanging down. It's like, you're the one at the most fucking risk. I'm just going to walk in and out, and I'm not even going to fucking be here. But you're now in here, breathing in everybody's breath, and then breathing it out at me. In the end, it's me that I'm concerned with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And also, let's give those people the vaccine.
Yeah, that's the cashiers at the gas station need it first.
Yeah.
Right behind the medical people, then it's grocery stores and gas stations.
I agree.
Oh man, I had a fucking freak out. There's another one I had a freak out. We went to Butch Bando's Lights.
Bando.
It's a drive-through lights thing up by Alum Creek, and we had to get gas on the way out, and we stopped at this spot, which is the convenience store. It's it's like a very Speedway. It's everywhere here, but it was prepay only. Like that's a bad one. I mean, I guess people were driving off way too much.
Yeah. Cash only. I see a lot of cash only.
Yeah, it's been a switch. So I pull up. I go to put my card in the machine. It won't let me pay with my card. It says you have to come in and do it. So I go inside. And I talk to the cashier, and her mask is around her chin.
Yeah.
And she loves my Christmas hat and my Christmas sweater because we just left the lights, and she's just chatting me up, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to grin and bear it. I'm talking real shallow so I don't breathe in. You're like, hey, happy holiday. Yeah. So she's rings me. It's prepay. I don't know how much is needed. I'm just like $30, and I'm $30. I go out there, and I go to fill it up, and it says, doesn't work. Contact the cashier, insert your card. I go in, and I'm like, I was on pump 8. And she was like, yeah, pump 8. That's what I did. I have you on pump 8. And I was like, all right, well, it's not working. And then she goes into this explanation on why it's not working. And I'm like, I get out there, and I go, and it doesn't work again. And I go inside and she's like, you're going to have to move to another pump.
And then go back in.
Right. So I moved to the other pump and it doesn't read my card. And I just drove away. I just drove away. Because I didn't want to. No one was in there. None of the employees were wearing a mask, and I didn't want to go back for the fourth time.
And for some reason,
I just had enough. I could lose the $30.
I know
it canceled. It didn't even go through. I was gonna just do a chargeback, but they never completed the transaction. I just didn't want to be there anymore.
You just want to lose. I just want to lose my mind, but I also don't want to yell at cashier.
No, it wasn't. It was just like, you're doing your job, you're trying to get me gas, but like I'm entangled in like this face-to-face thing that I didn't want to get into. I wanted to just pull up here with my card and never see you.
Yeah.
I wanted you to hang out here and do your thing, and I didn't want to see you.
Yeah, prepay only sucks too when you have to walk in and
oh man,
like I don't know, fucking $25, I guess, 30. I don't.
Yeah, I know. It's like take a stab at
do
it.
the math.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
What's the
know
price
how
per
much
gallon?
gas I need.
I got a napkin. Let me pull his pencil out from behind my ear and do a little math here.
Yeah. So let's do. Here's what we can do after this, since we just talked about work. I got this list.
Here's the thing. Somebody in the chat, just to say, I'm not saying that masks don't work. I'm just saying that like they don't work 100%. You can't be around people all the time and not expect it to exchange.
They work if everybody wears them in the room. But again, you fucking go somewhere and it's just like fucking 20% of the people are not going to be wearing them.
Also, actually, after a certain amount of time, they don't work. After you get the 2-4 hour range, if you're around somebody for 8 hours, you breathe their breath. You don't get you can't get out of that.
Okay.
It squirts out the sides.
Okay. Oh, I'm not doing that. So
sure,
it's okay with me. You guys can fight it out. Yeah. I wear the mask. That's just me. So I got this list sent to me. I don't know. I think Google now knows when I'm recording because it goes real heavy in the news. It goes real heavy on the job stuff on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays is when I prep early in the day. I check to see what I'm doing. I Google a lot of HR stuff and stuff like that to catch up on the trends in the human resources world. Of course, I have to know that. And today this came up. If you say any of these 6 things during the job interview, don't expect to get an offer. This is from CNBC. So it's actually from the news channel that your boss watches if you work in any industry.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, anybody who wants to be business minded,
get ahead.
CNBC is their stuff, you know. Fox News if you're like crazy. MSNBC if you just got done listening to NPR on the way in, and CNN just nobody watch. I guess MSNBC is the one nobody watches.
I don't know anything about.
I haven't watched any of those channels.
I don't think anybody
in a
watches
number
them.
of years. Yeah,
I never met somebody that watches them.
But let's look at CNBC. You have actually. Well, I know we've met people that watch Chris Hayes. Maybe, I don't know. I can't imagine somebody listening to this show and then watching Chris Hayes.
No. You met Chris Hayes once.
I did meet Chris Hayes in Cleveland. I got a picture with him. So number 1, this is an odd one. And this is 6 things not to say during a job interview, Brett.
6 things not to say during a job interview. Okay.
I'm a motivated self-starter is number 1.
Okay. I agree. I mean, it sounds like bullshit immediately.
Really? Okay, so it says, I've heard so many candidates say this in response to questions about the professional strength or notable characteristics. It's a wildly overused answer. Oh, he's calling you a hack if you say it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, you're lying. You don't have anything to say. You just Googled something that people want to hear on resumes.
Yeah. I thought this was what you were supposed to say.
Well, no, you have to say you have to prove that with evidence.
Yeah.
Like instead of saying I'm a wildly motivated self-starter, you have to say I started my job at this place doing this, and I out of my own volition, expanded my duties and did things on my own.
You're the guy that wrote this article.
You have to explain how you did that. You can't just say that you are that. Like you're faking the funk.
And the person that wrote this article, I gotta make sure it's J.T. O'Donnell. You're the person that wrote this article, because what they say is a more appropriate response might be, I'm not afraid to take the lead on projects, and I can do so with little guidance. Followed by an example of a time when you successfully did this.
I'm sorry, what is it?
He said a more appropriate response might be, I'm not afraid to take the lead on projects, and I can do so with little guidance. Followed by an example of a time when you successfully did this.
Yeah, yeah.
Weird. I don't know. I don't see the difference. But I know what motivated and self-starter mean. I don't know. I hate these things. We've talked about job interviews on this show so much. And that little thing about the magic words that they want to hear that like unlock the job for you. It's a weird, like you're like almost like working on a combination lock. You're trying to crack a safe. There's a number of things.
Let me go ahead and turn your world upside down and say that my guidance is to avoid that stuff. I think you read all the job advice, because the job advice will all say, demonstrate that you're a motivated self-starter. And the fool's mistake is just to say, oh, that's what they want to hear. That's the magic words. I'm just going to say I'm a motivated self-starter.
Yeah.
You have to get around that. You can't do what everyone else is doing. You can't follow the advice because everyone is following the advice.
Well, number 2 on here is one of my favorite answers of all time. And it's to tell me not to use this is to tell me not to breathe. In 5 years, I hope to be in your position.
It says you can't say that?
It says not to say that.
Yeah, like I believe. I can understand what they mean by that.
That's the top answer, though. That's the number one answer.
Where did that come from exactly?
I don't know.
Is that a movie?
Is it a
thing?
movie?
It has to be like a Dustin Hoffman thing, or like it has to be a famous Steve.
It's like a Wall Street type movie where a guy is like working his way up through the fucking company, and he fucking goes into an interview,
Google it.
And he sits across from another guy, and the guy's like, where do you see yourself going? He's like, in 5 years, I hope to be in your position. And then a fucking montage plays with like dollar signs coming up on the screen and cha-ching, cha-chings, and then calculators printing stuff. And then it's 5 years later, and he's in that guy's position.
Right.
Is what it happens.
And that guy's in the grave because he stole it from him. There's no... I can't find anything with the Google search.
And they say it's lazy and thoughtless. So, you know, I don't know.
Is it from like the 48 laws of power or something?
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I really don't. But I've heard, we have a mutual friend whose dad told them to do that in an interview. We have a mutual friend whose dad told him to put a suit on and bring a briefcase in
and he did.
To a job interview.
He did bring a briefcase.
And he brought a briefcase to the job interview. And the dad also said you should say, if they ask you where you see yourself in 5 years, you say, I plan to be at your desk. And it's like, that's some of the worst advice I've ever heard. I mean, the briefcase thing's just odd. It's like, what would be in the briefcase? If I was doing a job interview, God forbid, I'm a job interview guy now. I'm sitting across and somebody brings a briefcase in, I would just be like, what's in that briefcase?
Yeah.
Like, what could you possibly have in there?
It's mysterious.
But I would ask. I mean, that would be the interview
What is
question.
that?
Hey, what's in there? I mean, what could you be carrying around? You don't have the job. You know, is this other work from your other job? I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to figure you out, sir. I don't know. Number 3, I did not like my previous boss. They hate to hear that because they know you're
can't do
problematic.
that. Yeah. They don't want to know that you know the flaws in bossing. They don't want to hear about how bosses can be bad because they're a boss and they think bosses are good.
Yeah, they don't want to hear that there's no way a boss will ever be good.
You can't you
will never like a boss. Of course you won't.
I agree you never diss the boss at any old place you have. You never say I left that place because they sucked or they did this, or you never bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fucking funny. Number four. My biggest weakness is that I'm a perfectionist. I love that answer. That's one of my top 10. My biggest weakness is that I care too much and work too hard.
Yeah, it's tough. Just every night I'm just dreaming about getting back to work mostly.
Like, if anything, I'll fucking work like 24 hours in a row. Really, for you. And I
Yeah.
don't want any extra pay for that.
No.
You know? I don't do it for the money. That's another weakness for me. I don't, you pay me minimum wage.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I have zero self-worth. I would do this for free. I would live in servitude and sleep in this building.
It would be really funny to go in like that.
Yeah, like
I don't even fucking need money.
Honestly, I'm just looking to help. Like, sir, we have to do tax purposes. Like, you know what? I want to just get in there. Let me get in. I want to work right now. Like, right this minute. Let's stop doing this. Let's work instead.
There's been times, though, I think I could have been tricked into working for free.
Of course. I mean,
for a period of time.
Yeah, a lot of people have in certain ways. I mean, Lyft is a way of working for free.
No. What I'm saying is, like, when I was a teenager, I desperately, wanted to work at a record store or a movie theater.
Okay.
I think if they had said, if you work for free for 90 days, we'll hire you.
Sure.
I would have probably done it.
Yeah.
Because I was just a guy that, I wanted a cool job more than anything in the world. I knew that I was going to spend most of my life working. And I knew that the thing I needed to do was get a cool job. And movie theater and record store seemed like the two coolest jobs to me. And I would have done it.
Those were good.
Those
were top jobs.
Number 5, can you tell me more about the company? When they ask if you got any questions for them.
Yeah.
I hate that question. Here's what pisses me off about that question. You're making me ask you a question. What if I don't have any more curiosity beyond how much are you going to pay me?
Yeah, but this is an easy tweak. All you have to say is, what do you like most about working for this company?
Oh, that's tight.
That you can have that. You can use that at any job interview ever. Like, what's your favorite part of working here?
Yeah.
And they're always like, I didn't realize I was going to be the one interviewed. I'm turning the tables.
Yeah. This is the last one here. What do your perks and benefits look like?
I don't know. I mean, I think the person should respect your ass. I think that's a little too grovelly.
I do too.
I think that's too grovelly. I think that, I think people, honestly, even people in a hiring position or in an ownership position, I think they do in a way respect somebody that's like, I want these benefits and I want this amount of money. It's not the case all the time. I guess I've only known through my wife's employment circumstances and people I've worked with. But I've had bosses where it's just like, hey, I'm worth a lot more than you're paying me and you should give it. And they're like, all right, I believe you, And the same with this, it's like, I'm coming to, if you're going to work for a company and they're like, oh God, I hope they don't ask about the benefits because that's a trap. It's like, why would you want to lose a job. You don't want to get hired at a job where if you say, what kind of benefits can I expect? And they're like, whew, you are not ready for this. You dodged a bullet.
This place fucking none.
Wow.
Really. Perks?
Well, some. I mean, they'll take the money, but good luck getting it back.
You get health insurance, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a few days off.
Pay out the ass for vision,
Yeah, there's no perks, really. Jobs don't have perks anymore. Job market don't work like that.
You're fully vested in PTO after 4 years of employment. You start getting PTO.
All right, we got one more thing to do here before we get out of here. I did say that our enemies are out in full force. Tom Cruise, Bad Boss, the Ulines.
Yeah.
And guess who else showed up?
Mike Rowe?
Yes, he did.
Really?
He did.
Wow.
He did. He's out there.
I was listening to his podcast yesterday.
Oh, how is it? I get recommended to listen to his podcast, and I don't do that.
He was talking about being a sellout the other day.
Oh, like you should be one? Because that...
Yeah, he did the kind of Jason Newsted thing. Where it's like, I've always sold out. I've always done whatever it takes to make money. He did one of those proud speeches like that for people that, think he's a sellout.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like him. He's a seller. He just wants to make cash. I like that.
Yeah, he told a story about doing sales out the back of a trunk of a car. It was very Ain't That America.
Who hasn't done that, though?
Right.
Almost everybody I know got roped into that sales job, selling stuff out of the trunk of a car.
You bought 40 of something, and now you have to fucking sell it.
I'm probably the only one of my... But I did get roped into that, though. My buddy got roped into that because he had big stretched ears and tattoos and stuff. And, you know, the ad says if you like rock and roll and have tattoos, you should come here and work for us. So he went and got the job, and he was selling alarm clocks out of the back of a car. They were just driving to people's parking lots where they work and trying to sell these alarm clocks out of the back of a car. Same thing happened to me, but I had to go try to up people on their Columbia gas or their gas or whatever. It was something about their gas bill.
Yeah.
That I gave up on. But yeah. I mean, most of my friends got roped into something like that. And it is like, it's a hell job. I got a buddy, man, I got this buddy. He, there was an open cattle call interview, right? At the Holiday Inn downtown. And truthfully, I think that it was like, we all loved hotels so much that it was just like neat that something was happening at a hotel. And my buddy just goes to this hotel and they're like, we sell, and trust me, this, we don't even really have to sell it. It's a cleaner. You know, you spray it on the window, you clean your windows with it. And this stuff, you know, is $12 a bottle. Just like would have been a red flag for like, I don't think I'm gonna sell $12 window cleaner.
Like, well, when they see it clean though.
He's like, yeah, you show them clean, you know, and you get to travel the whole country. You get to see the country, okay?
Yeah.
Then we'll put you on a bus. We got a bus that we take people around in, a van, and you're touring the country in a van. This dude, he was like, I get to travel. Finally, I get to fucking travel around the country. Which is like, that's everybody's dream when they're late teens, right?
Yeah.
You're 19, you're 20, you're early 20s. It's like all you think about is like, how do I see as much of the world as I possibly can? Most people do. I guess. I mean, that's what I always have wanderlust, you know? And like, so he takes this job. He gets on the bus. I think they were taking Greyhound to each city. Okay? He gets on the bus, ends up down in Florida. Didn't sell a single thing. And they were staying in these like really seedy motels. And it was 4 people to a room. And they were people that didn't know each other from different parts of the country. And they were given 20. He was so excited because he was like, you know, you get commission, you get a cut of the sales, and you get $25 a day to eat. And he made it to Florida. He was gone for a week and a half, and then made him buy him a bus ticket home. It didn't make a single fucking dollar.
Yeah.
Not a single nothing.
That sounds like when I was building bikes, because you got paid per piece. So there would be groups of guys. It was all independent contractor work, but the company would work with Walmarts, and they would say, you know, we've got 2 or 3 Walmarts in West Texas that need bikes built this weekend, and they would try to get 4 or 5 strangers to get in a car together, drive and stay in a hotel, and drive and build 100, work for 12 hours a day building bikes. You get paid $3 a bike. You build, 100 bikes, you get $300, you know. But a lot of times you aren't getting that much. A lot of times there's a wrench in the gears, and you know, you can only build 50 that day, and you're also gone and you're paying to be there. It's
fuck, dude, because you think about it and you're like, okay, if I can make $300 a day reliably, I mean, there were probably times where there weren't 100 bikes.
No, there wasn't. There was lots of lies. I mean, I never got caught up. I was doing it as an extra thing to buy time, but like I could just see, it was a scam from the beginning. It was the same company that was like, you signed up to be a bike builder, and your first paycheck, they took most of it because they charged you for the tools that they gave you.
And you're like, I don't even need these fucking tools.
Well, you would sign up and they would charge you, $300 for a bike stand and a bike toolkit to do all the stuff to build bikes. That would be charged against like your first 6 checks or whatever. And I already had a bunch of stuff, so I was like, I don't need this. I'm not going to pay for this. But it was, truckers are getting in the same thing. You see those people that are underwater that, sign up to be truckers and lease the vehicles and Uber. So much we have like such a renter society.
Yeah. And it's like, you end up like, again, like if it was like you're not seeing the country.
No, you're not.
Like that.
No, these guys, they were going on a route. They would be gone for 6 or 7 days, but they were working all day.
Yeah. Yeah, people think that, like, I don't know, rich people get to see the country, get to see the world. That's who gets to see it. Not anybody. If you tie seeing the country to your work, it's not going to fucking happen. Unless you're like a travel writer,
Right.
Because anything we've done, like I've been to a lot of places, but I don't know. I don't feel like I've seen a lot.
No.
I've seen a lot more than a lot of people. But like I don't feel like I understand Raleigh, North Carolina.
No, there's lots of cities that I've been to, but I definitely didn't visit.
Portland, Oregon, like I don't fucking know shit about. I've been to Portland twice for 48 hours total together. So
I got to walk around Portland. It was nice.
I did too. Both times actually. I got to take a long walk, but I didn't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm at. I'm downtown. I'm generally just walking from dispensary to dispensary because I'm so excited about there being dispensaries. And you try to find something to eat and shit like that,
Yeah, it is.
And downtown is never the place to be. Usually we're performing in the neighborhood you want to be in to see, so that's nice. But Portland especially, the venue's downtown, so you're downtown and it's like where the Nordstrom is and stuff.
Right.
So let's check out what Mike Rowe's talking about. I'm curious. He's on, it looks like Fox News, Fox Business.
Cool.
He knows his audience.
He's got the best voice.
Oh wait, am I supposed to be listening?
And yet I'm following the president? Really?
Let me rewind.
You didn't tell me that. I thought you were going to be reading.
No, I would never. It's easier to listen to.
All right, let's see what he's up to.
Yeah, you got to hear his voice, dude. I also flubbed, so I'm glad you weren't listening.
Flub.
Joining us now is Mike Rowe. You
know
this
Mike
guy,
Rowe.
Dirty Jobs fame. He's got the best voice in television.
And yet I'm following the president? Really? Really?
This guy loves the president, sounds like. He thinks that he's following the president.
Well, yeah, he's just
Donald Trump.
He's just corny.
Not a great speaker, though, that Donald Trump.
He's top-notch speaker, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. He's like an improv guy, though.
Yeah. He's a Robin Williams type.
Yeah.
You just gotta be. It's an in the moment thing.
That's true.
Like watching someone him going off when like when the mic is hot, man. Fuck.
Being able to do what he does would be. Because that
we do that. We do that. We just don't have the power. I want the power and reach of Donald Trump.
A little more though prepared than he even seems. We are a little more prepared than he seems.
Yeah, I'm flying off the handle most of the time though. I'm really trying not to be too prepared.
Me neither. But we at least know what we're going to talk about when we get up there. I don't think he knows what he's going to talk about half the fucking time. I think he just gets up there. He's fucking like the toilet's not flushing. I don't know what's going on. You people love this thing. Remember we waved the Bible? You people love this thing, He's just a dude that he fucking is a free spirit, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry about that, Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe.
I see the problem here as not enough skilled workers available to fill the jobs that are available. Is that the way it is?
I don't know about that. I don't think those jobs are available. Mike Rowe has this thing in his brain where he thinks that there's a billion gajillion jobs available and it's just people are too lazy to go and do them.
Yeah. We do. I'm in contact with a lot of union people that have high paid, like, you know, the type of jobs that you would fetishize, the $30 an hour, $30, $40 an hour lineman type jobs.
That's what I'm talking about.
This country is not short of people willing to do hard work.
Yeah.
What I have to say is that people are willing to do anything that pays a lot of money. I've seen people kill themselves for $15 an hour. So
we don't invest in training either. That's the fucking thing. It's like they're like, all these idiots go to fucking college, and it's like, but like, how do I get a union plumbing job?
Yeah.
Like, how do I get a job doing this stuff if I don't know how to do it and I don't have the tools to do it? If that makes sense.
Right.
Like, I could never find myself on an HVAC team at all. I couldn't figure out how to get that fucking job. You know, it's a fucking miracle that I was doing what I was doing when I was working.
When it's also some dumb shit where like supposed to work at Burger King for $7 an hour and save one of those $7 an hour to pay for your HVAC license, and then you go grovel to be like the assistant fucking janitor at an apartment complex and work your way up. You know,
I mean, there should be apprenticeships should be much easier to get than they actually are. I mean, this is from an uneducated person, but I could never figure out how to get an apprenticeship. There were so many of these jobs I would have done plumbing, dude. I would have taken any one of those $30 an hour jobs, and you'd have never had to hear my voice on podcast ever again, you know? I mean, didn't you see those as like these aspirational jobs that you would have loved to fucking get your hands on one, but you just didn't know how, couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it takes an incredible amount of investigation, but I also don't think they're that, you know, readily available.
No, I don't either. Let's hear what Mike...
Who would ever stop doing it if you had it?
Let's hear Mike talk about how reading books is dumb.
Well, that's what I've been saying since 2008 when my foundation started. But I've got a question for you. I watched you on Fox and Friends this morning, and I just heard you say that we're really at full employment.
Yep.
But 10 minutes ago on the same channel, I'm looking at a labor participation rate of 62.3%. How does 62.3% and full employment, like, when and how did we get to the point where 40% of people not working somehow meant full employment?
Well, I would call...
Wow, Mike. Like, it sounds like you're really bumming me out here. I mean, I don't know what full employment means. I don't feel like we're at full employment, unless you count driving for Uber and Lyft.
No.
It's full employment, you know? Like, I mean, that's what they say is they're like the opportunities out
buying
there.
discount plants from Myers and selling them on Facebook Marketplace. Is that full employment?
Yeah. Driving around and finding washers out on the side of the road, fixing them up, and then fucking...
Driving from Centerburg to Columbus to get a free washer. I had a guy that drove a fucking hour and a half to get my free dryer when I gave it up.
Yeah, but they probably do, mate. I mean,
yeah, it's free money. You just listen to a podcast on the way, and then you get free money.
Yeah, I mean, I met a guy with a storefront. Like, this dude, it was in the rent had to be very low where it was at, and it wasn't like a very nice place. But I mean, he was able to afford to get his own storefront to sell trash dryers, washers and dryers out of. I buy them. I'm a fucking, look, I look at those people like I remember the Browns used tires. Just a used tire shop, right? Yeah. It's just like unfucking believable that business exists, because it's like rich people actually get their tires changed.
Well, yeah.
The thing.
Well, there's a fucking Mad Hatter muffler shop. Yeah. It's legendary in Columbus because they, like, if you have a hole in your if you have a hole in your exhaust, they will just like put a plate on it. Like they'll do they'll get it fixed for $45. Like, they're not going to overwhelm you with costs.
No.
It's a legendary place. Like any Mad Hatter in Columbus, if you ever need it fixed for cheap, they will get it done.
Yeah, well, my car was fucked up. A few people said you should go to Mad Hatter. I probably will next time. Because what they said was they'll clean out your catalytic converter.
Right. They'll just run a brush through it.
You gotta put a new one on there.
No. They'll take it off and run a brush through it, and for $60, you'll be good for a while.
I mean, those are the businesses that I valorize. That's the small business owner I valorize.
I want to get rid of them. I mean, they should be paid as a dynasty. They should be paid for their service the same way like a Carnegie or, a Koch brother, whatever it is. Like, all those guys, they deserve to have their legacy maintained.
Yeah.
And gals, non-binary pals, whoever runs these type of illegal businesses that we love.
Yeah.
Call it full employment when you've got 7 million jobs going a-begging.
Right.
And you
Full
don't
employment.
have the workers.
We don't
6
need
million
full
people
employment.
to fill them.
No, I don't want it.
The people who are not participating in the labor force, they're retired.
I mean, the 60% of people working also, like half of them don't need to.
Yeah. Don't want to.
It's all bullshit jobs.
Yeah, it's all just bullshit, like busy work.
40% ain't working. The other 30% is doing nothing. We could all just split up that other 30% of jobs that we're doing. Like, we could just split that up and be done with it.
Yeah.
Not have to do anything else.
Yeah. Let's hear a little bit more here.
I would say that this is the most fully employed economy, the tightest labor market that I've ever seen.
I agree.
But that
I
begs
agree.
the question.
Sorry,
Flubbing? We be flubbing. Everybody loves it when a flub shakes something.
That was a big one. That was a mistake. That was what they call a flub.
So Mike Rowe.
Joining us now is Mike Rowe. You know this guy.
Full employment is just an odd term. Full employment is not something we need to talk about.
You're basically.
Yeah.
It seems to me.
It's absurd. I mean, this is just so head in the sand.
Important. If we're still going to look at
this is so that you're denying reality right now because full employment is not something that's happening under these conditions at all. It's absolutely ghoulish to be having this conversation. How dare you talk about full employment right now? That's not even feasible.
Yeah. Well, let's read his Facebook post because this story led me to a Facebook post. I think this is what we want to talk about here. Lots of people on this page have asked me to comment on the various proposals to forgive hundreds of billions of dollars in student debt.
Oh, no. Oh, my. I didn't know we were going here.
This is where the heel Mike Rowe comes out, right? This is where our heel Mike Rowe shows up. Okay? Many, it seems, suspect that I'll be supportive of these efforts.
Who? No one would ever think that. How? He really thinks that people think he's generous.
He does. Well, I'm generous.
I know a lot of you see me on TV and you think I love, poor working class people.
I don't.
I don't love people at all.
I love their bosses.
I like the boss. I like the people that make money off of you.
Yeah. You might think that I actually care about your working life, but really I care about it in as much as you'll for some reason sometimes listen to me, and billionaires think that that's a good thing.
Pol Pot suggested we rip all of these petty bourgeoisie from their skyscrapers and make them work the fields.
Yes. Many, it seems. Okay, so he thinks people. Since I've written at length about the outrageous rise of college tuition and the scandalous ways in which hundreds of thousands of students have been conned into borrowing ridiculous sums of money to purchase degrees that never lead to an actual job.
That's not true. I mean, never is a crazy word, and it's...
never lead. Yeah, he does say never lead to an actual job. A lot of people that graduate college are working.
Yeah, doing great.
You can get a fucking
doing
job.
fine. I mean, it's not. It's just it's not a never thing. Yeah. And also, I've talked to my wife about this a lot, but also an experience that people need to mature and make things happen for them.
Just talked about that earlier tonight.
Not for everybody. I mean, I'm not a graduate, but I also think that folks had to be pushed into thinking about different shit because it wasn't going to happen any other way.
Right. Yeah. Well, for the record, I do not support student loan forgiveness.
Big surprise. I mean, obviously, honestly, man, dog, you're supposed to be like, you should be leading an angry mob against the schools. Why would we ever think, like, you're dirty jobs?
Yeah.
Right? You're with all the uneducated masses that
No,
want to,
he's not, though. He's with their bosses. He is actually with the owner of those businesses. That dirty job shit, he wasn't there for the employees to do the dirty jobs.
You're right.
It was like diners, drive-ins, and dives. If you watch diners, drive-ins, and dives, Guy Fieri goes in to this dive or this diner, right? And the owner or the chef of the restaurant, the cook, shows him how they make the famous cheeseburger.
Right.
That guy doesn't make very many cheeseburgers. There's people that work there that make the cheeseburgers every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you would be under the impression that guy comes in and makes all the cheeseburgers every day. That is what dirty jobs is.
Yeah, and also with dirty jobs, it's like, oh my God, you transport shit and it's a $5 million business. And it is, but the people on the job site have regular old paychecks that are hourly wages.
Yeah.
Like the person that thought about moving the shit and doing the dirty job of getting shit somewhere, they're getting paid way more than the other people that actually move the shit. They're doing it from the office. They're getting paid the most from their office while somebody else moves the shit.
I mean, I bet I would do anything to see the looks on the actual workers' faces as their boss goes down in a shit puddle for the first time in like 7 years. You know? That motherfucker doesn't leave his office.
Right.
Sort of thing. And that's what Mike Rowe believes in. Mike Rowe doesn't fucking care about workers at all. Period.
Right. He believes that the best idea means you get to exploit everyone else.
Right.
And that if you don't got the best idea, you're just a sucker. Like he believes that you should take your lumps. He thinks that if you don't have a better idea than the boss, you need to shut up and get your paycheck.
Right.
He thinks you should take what you get and nothing more and expect less.
I also want to say that, like, he talks about the ways that it is scandalous that thousands of students have been conned into borrowing ridiculous sums of money to purchase degrees that never lead to an actual job. That is a reason to support student loan forgiveness. That is actually a reason to support it.
That makes sense. You're right.
People have been conned.
People were conned. You fully acknowledge they're getting conned.
Yes.
That's a crime.
Yeah.
That's a fucking crime.
Yeah. My reason for opposing student loan forgivenesses are not a secret. I've written at length on this page about the fundamental unfairness of doing such a thing, especially to the millions of Americans who've paid their college debts and sacrificed so much to do so. I've also said that forgiving student debt would send a terrible message to the very same universities that already gouge their customers with sky-high tuition. Now, let me fucking take that apart a little bit. Let me just rip that to pieces. Okay, fine. I'm fucking... Imagine, like, maybe somebody shouldn't take the polio vaccine because it's unfair to all the people who died of polio. You know what I mean? Like, who cares what those... Since when does the government fucking care what anybody thinks? You know what I mean? The people that paid off their stuff, good on you. But who fucking... When does the government care about what those people actually care about anyway at all? You could just do it. It's not unfair to do if people have been unfairly conned. It's like you want to put people in this debt servitude, and that's what Mike Rowe likes. He likes that they're in debt. Like, what are they supposed to do?
It's also such a piece of shit, pseudo-intellectual bullshit that the Republicans do, and Mike Rowe is firmly in this tradition where, how dare somebody that's trained and somebody that has studied in these things, how dare they charge money for students to study under them? You know, like this is the like Ohio State is doing a lot of very good science and research and advancing things. This is how it happens. You can't do it on YouTube, right? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't. I hate how they always pretend like they're intellectual, but when it comes to like a group of people coming together and learning the learning the newest knowledge, it's objectionable, or it's not worth anything. Yeah. It's not worth anything to have young people go and talk with an older person that studied literature their whole fucking life and wants to talk to them about literature for 9 weeks. Right? Like, yeah. How is that? How there is value in that? There's like everybody deserves that. We all deserve like to be able to sit down and have this stuff handed around. They are so cloistered. Their ideology is one of like, your knowledge is only what you know yourself, and you don't trust anybody else. This is people getting together to share the best advice and you know the most cutting edge information.
Yeah, and it's really,
and he says it's worth nothing.
Yeah,
it's worth nothing to go to a college and learn you know, what the best people in the industry, like, you're interested in fucking dinosaur footprints or head shrinking or soil, and you go and you hang out with the people that are really into it, and you have to pay good money. Yeah, it makes sense.
You like rocks? There's a place you can go to just talk about rocks.
They're crazy about them.
Yeah, they fucking love them. There's rocks there. They have tons of rocks there. You can go and look and touch some of the rocks. You can fucking, it's wonderful.
It's just something that I can never, like, I'm never going to sign on with this populism that says we all should just break our backs unless we can make more money than the person breaking our back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or devalues any of this, you know?
So this next little piece is so disingenuous, but it's from a Kevin Williamson article. And this is something that Kevin Williamson, I believe, maybe from the Federalist?
Dracula?
He is. That's Dracula. The majority of student debt is held by relatively high-income people. Poor people mostly are not college graduates, and those who attend college but did not graduate hold relatively little college loan debt, etc., as the New York Times puts it. Debt relief overall would disproportionately benefit middle to upper-class college students. Which ones? Especially those who attended elite and expensive institutions and people with lucrative professional credentials like law and medical degrees. Number one,
not true.
I know a ton of poor people that went to college and didn't get through because they couldn't figure out how to fund the rest of the college, and they owe money. And like, we should be incentivizing people to go to college. Yeah, that is a good thing. It is as you've said, it's a good thing that people go and do it. You know, I want more people to do it than are doing it now.
Yeah, it's too restrictive at this point. But you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, the genesis of Street Fight, but the beginning of this really is that, like, you know, you and another friend, another family from Groveport, Ohio, you know, the sticks, but still kind of the city.
The worst kind of suburb.
Yeah, like one in, one out. Yeah. Yeah. But I've been involved with you and in your family and your friend's family, and I met my wife through them, and all of us did come from hard scrabble situations, very shitty things, but you know, went to college, and that was the restricting thing. Like, talking about, like, why don't millennials buy houses? It was because you have to pay $600 a month to student loans. Yeah. They wanted that, like, at 6 months after you left, they wanted $600 a month. And it's like stifled an entire generation of people. It costs too much, but it's absolutely essential. More people need to do it. Like, there's just, yeah. And I'm not going to go, and I didn't go, but I just think for other people, you have to want to go. You have to, the people that are interested in it, they should.
Right.
Go geek out.
This is how he ends it. Finally, it should go without saying that I pity every young man and woman who is struggling today under the yoke of a crushing student loan. I sincerely do. You were quite possibly sold a bill of goods. You were very likely pressured by your friends, your parents, or your guidance counselor to attend the right school.
But you know what? The monetary value. The problem is that they did. I mean, you develop so much empathy, you develop so much conflict resolution, that it really is a grinder of real life to be pushed up against all those people and to have someone that challenges what you do. it is very like transformative, I think, to a person to go through that. But all he has is that you were a dumbass for doing that.
For signing up for the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think college changed me tremendously. Like it taught me how to think about things in a way that benefits this show, because I'm able to I understand how to analyze and pick things apart a little bit better, because I learned how to do that by studying literature and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't know what Mike Rowe would even think of me, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like,
you're
what
definitely
would a guy like him think about me? A guy that I did the whole fucking grind and it didn't work for me, and it didn't work out.
You did it all for the knowledge. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You did college for the knowledge. That's all it should be, though. It really, and he really sucks, because he is pitying people that he absolutely doesn't give a fuck about, but he offers no critique of a world that pretty much a lot of people did. My entire school career, they said, if you go to college, you'll make a lot of money. Everybody said, if you go to college, you'll make a lot of money.
When he says he pities you like a king pities a serf.
Yeah.
I pity you.
It's pathetic.
Yeah, you're just pathetic.
Get him out of my face. Sad. Yeah. God, that's too sad.
You are perhaps a victim of this persistent, pernicious, and preposterous push to peddle a 4-year degree to every person with a pulse, and for that you have my sympathy.
Alliteration's much.
Yeah, you have but that's not my fault, nor is it the fault of the American people. The fault belongs to you, and so does the.
No, it doesn't.
I know. It seems like he's explained all the reasons it's not your fucking fault.
He's there's an entire system that is orchestrated against you. People have sold your parents a bunch of lies. All the schools are convinced that if we funnel you into college, into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, that you'll get paid on the end. You fell for a trick and a trap, and that's your fault.
Yeah, yeah. And now you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
This is why I've spent the last 12 years discouraging people from slipping into hock at the outset of their career.
Here's the other thing, too. Someone said it in the chat, JJ Sanders. But the teachers also are not making anything anymore.
I know.
Everything is stripped away. The teachers are not getting anything. They're working at Trader Joe's and teaching college.
Yeah, no, a lot of them aren't getting tenure, and they're not getting hired on. They're all basically contractors.
Yeah, I know one I still know is a noise artist, a mildly successful noise artist, enough to support his college teaching habit.
Yeah, it's just. I cannot figure it out. I don't want to see more people borrow money they can't afford to pay back, but nor do I wish to pay it back for you. You won't be, trust me. I will, however, encourage you to apply for a work ethics scholarship and wish you every success in the future.
Where do you get a work ethics scholarship from?
From him.
Hey, you got to earn it from me.
And he hands out $1 million worth of it a year. So I don't know how many people that is. Yeah. I don't know how much it costs to go to.
What does he teach him how to do?
I guess he hooks them up with probably filters them into for-profit schools for-profit trade schools is what I'm
learning how to basically. Yeah, you sign up for an engine school and then you end up working at Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's something my buddy went for that. A buddy of mine went to do high performance auto mechanic, which you would call that Mike Rowe would probably call that a responsible choice.
Sure.
Because people need to drive cars.
Yeah.
And he ended up working at Jags, which is just a store. He was selling
auto parts store
at a store.
O'Reilly's or AutoZone or whatever.
There's just no...
They have more performance parts.
There's just no guarantees in life. And there's no guarantee...
We don't have enough room for it. We don't have enough room for everybody to be cutting edge scientists about stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have enough room for everybody that wants to do, whatever it is. But I don't think we should punish them because they tried.
I know. That's what it feels like, too. It feels like punishment. It feels like
you work it out. How hard is your passion? How much do you want to do this? How much does it inform you? My wife she is very rare in her case. She went to an elite school here in Columbus, an art school, and they don't necessarily have like a design program. There's other schools and people that she, like University of Cincinnati has like a way more effective design program when it comes to jobs. And, you know, out of like a dozen friends, she's the only one that works in the field that she was in. But I don't think those people lost out or wasted their time by going through that program. It informs the rest of their life, and I think it helps them become better citizens.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was worth it, you know?
You need a certain amount of like social science classes and literature classes where you have to learn about these sorts of things when you get through a program like that.
Yeah.
Like you're learning so many different things when you're in college. It's not like I went to school, I got a sociology degree, but it's not like all I did was sociology. I did a lot of different shit that affected me for the rest of my life. I read books that I would have never read that I understand now, and it helped unlock how to read other books. It was just like this whole thing. The whole thing was such a worthy experience for me. And it's like the way Mike Rowe thinks about this is like, I didn't deserve to have that experience. Even though I worked my fucking ass off from the time I was 16 until the time I was 33 years old. You know what I mean?
He thinks some salesman in a suit came into all your classes and was like, yeah, sign on the dotted line here for another year of degree. You'll get paid $100,000 when you graduate.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels like he's the type of guy that thinks that I should have just stayed where I was, which was extremely unsatisfied with my life and miserable and sad and just beaten down and like losing function of my body and stuff. And like a guy like that just doesn't think I deserved to learn about fucking British or like English literature and stuff. He doesn't think that I deserve to know about any of that shit.
And it's just a dumbass ingenuous position where it's like, well, more people should be willing to swing a hammer. And it's like, that's not the shortage. We don't have a shortage of people willing to do hard work.
We have a shortage of people willing to hire people.
Willing to pay. There's no pay.
Yeah.
There's no manufacturing here.
Yeah.
You know, we're running into it now, actually, with the Street Fight shirts. Not all of them are going to be printed on USA shirts anymore. The guy I work with said that it's shut down. He can't source USA-made apparel anymore.
Fuck.
It's closing down. People are losing jobs, manufacturing shutting down.
That sucks.
And
that's like, we've worked really hard to responsibly source all this stuff and use union labor and shit like that.
It's union printed, but yeah, the shirts are not available anymore.
Ah, that sucks. Well, that's the show. Mike Rowe, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, man. You're not on the side of workers. You don't vibe with work people. You're a boss, man. You're a boss.
He's a boss. He's a Tom Cruise.
He's a Tom Cruise motherfucker.
He's a Tom Cruise ass motherfucker.
Doesn't know what it's like to have some piece of shit like him talk down to you like that.
I pity you. I will never forget that line that we just read. I pity you.
What?
Just the way that he said I pity you in that piece.
Yeah.
The way I'm picturing him saying it pisses me off so immensely.
Yeah. He sucks. This is Street Fight. Thanks for listening. If you want to get some last minute gifts in, we've got sticker packs. We've got variety packs available at store.streetfightradio.com. You can also get digital downloads of Shocktober Volume 1, Shocktober Volume 2. Also, the first 12 zines are available in digital format at store.streetfightradio.com.
December 29th. On the Twitch, me and Chris are going to be watching some videos from Shock Jocks. Me and Chris James with special guests. We got people coming in, some surprises, some people, I don't know, you're probably not expecting. And you'll be able to watch Mancow go into Satan's woods. You'll be able to watch Opie show us the ocean. You'll be able to watch an Opie and Anthony pilot that I found for a TV show that is just dog shit. Terrible dog shit. And Mancow sizzle reel. Just all kinds of shit. So it's going to be very fun. It's going to be very funny. We're going to be taking phone calls. And I'm going to flub probably. I mean, I'm going to try not to, but, you know, as you can tell, I'm still flubbing.
Shock Jock Super Stream coming December 29th.
Yeah, somebody in the chat says possible flub fest.
It'll be good. I gotta go.
Me too.